What's up, everybody? Derek Anderson, the DA. All right, so you guys know the meme, you know the drill, okay? How it started and how it's going, all right? Yeah, so this is how it started, all right? Ahsoka, 1.2 million U.S. households watched the premiere of Ahsoka over its first 6 days on Disney+, all right? So that's how it started, and this is how it's going. 863,000 U.S. households watched the finale episode of Ahsoka on Disney Plus over the first 6 days. All right, so you're talking about somewhere in the neighborhood of a 33% drop, okay? It lost a good 1/3 of its audience. Listen, it's over, okay? It's over. I told you guys at Star Wars Celebration, right after the Ahsoka panel, I came right out, okay, that Ahsoka was the most important show that Disney had to get Ahsoka right. They had to nail this one.
This is a important and very, very important show for Star Wars at this point. I think Ahsoka has to be the best thing that they've done because they plan on carrying all of these Rebels characters. Okay, like everybody from Rebels is out on this thing, so they gotta really stick the landing with this particular show. Okay, first season has to be a dynamite, slam bang, action packed, show, because if it's not, and it's getting the same kind of reception as Book of Boba Fett and this season of Mandalorian, all right, it's a wrap. If Ahsoka sticks to landing and Ahsoka is good, then I have a feeling that we're going to get really they're going to turn it up to 10 and say, all right, Filoni, you have the keys to this thing. Maybe it's not Favreau after all. Maybe it's you and your storytelling style. We'll mix together all of the stuff with the Mandalorian, Book of Boba Fett, sure. But it's really going to come down to what Ahsoka is able to do. And, Filoni has to stick to landing with this particular series. Even like Rosario Dawson says, there's no guarantee of a season 2. She said, yeah, I kind of hope the season works out so that we can get a season 2. But she said, there's no guarantee of that, which is, the first season has to be, dynamite.
The Mandoverse is dead at this point, all right? This isn't creating fans. This isn't even sustaining fans. This is losing fans. This is fans abandoning this show. This is fans telling you, look, we don't care.
We don't care.
Let me tell you something.
We don't care.
Jerry.
We don't care about this. What did you have? You have 2 good seasons of The Mandalorian, all right? Well, 1.5 good seasons, okay? That season 2 is not my favorite season, but it finished strongly, all right? You had 2 good seasons of The Mandalorian, and then what do you have following that? You have 3 very lackluster, okay? Book of Boba Fett, Mando Season 3, and Ahsoka, all right? And it's been diminishing returns, less and less and less. As a matter of fact, whether you disagree or agree with me, let's just look at what the numbers say for the audiences. All right, so Rotten Tomatoes audience score, Mando Season 1, 92%. All right, then you got Mando Season 2, 91%. Again, nice solid score. What came after that? Book of Boba Fett. All right, Book of Boba Fett, 53% audience score. Ooh, not looking so hot, right? All right, so the next one was Mando Season 3. Mando Season 3, 51%. 51%, the worst of them all, okay? The worst of them all. And then we get to Ahsoka. And then we get Ahsoka sitting at 70% for its audience score. Yeah, the audience reactions aren't good, all right? The audience aren't reacting. They're not reacting the way Disney needs them to react. Okay, Disney cannot justify spending a ton of money on this. I said that on the last video. They cannot justify the spend to be dropping $400 million or whatever it's going to cost for a Mandoverse movie. They may get to a second season just to kind of wrap up this little story point with Thrawn, but I don't think they're going to get to a Mandoverse movie. Okay, I really don't think that's in the cards for them anymore. And this is just highlighting a very big problem when it comes to Disney and when it comes to Lucasfilm. Their inability to engage the fan base. They have one of the largest fan bases, if not the largest fan base on the globe. And they don't know how to engage these folks. They no longer know how to speak to their own audience with great, consistent material, okay? Just cranking out stuff that the audience wants to see. They no longer know how to do that. If this wasn't a giant hint to Disney and to Bob Iger, look, Bob, I'm going to give you some advice, okay? I don't like to give advice, but I'm going to give some right now, all right? You need to return Star Wars to its roots, okay? You need to go back to basics. You need to go right back to what George Lucas did. okay? The hero's journey, man of 1,000 faces, all right? You need to go right back to that. Joseph Campbell. You need to hand Joseph Campbell out to everybody at Disney, okay? There is no reason to be doing this. You guys have a hot property. You cannot, it's amazing to me that they have dropped the ball so dramatically when it comes to one of the biggest franchises in the world, and definitely one with the biggest and most passionate fans. And look, I know what the problem is that they figure, hey, we could just slap Star Wars on anything. Fans are going to eat it up. Even if all of them don't eat it up, even if half of them are buying into it, that's enough. Okay, but the problem is you're losing those guys and you're not creating new fans. You're not creating new fans with Ahsoka. As I pointed out on that One Piece versus Ahsoka, and I'll link that video above, all right? One Piece has people coming back and watching the anime and the manga, the live action, Appa. It has people going back and watching the anime because of the live action, reading the manga because of the live action, all right? And that's what Ahsoka should have done. That's what all of these shows should be doing, as a matter of fact. All of these shows should be generating more interest in all of the core source material. Going back and checking out all the old Star Wars movies, sure. But also diving into the animation, diving into the books, the comics, everything. But nobody's checking for any of this stuff. The High Republic has been a disaster. And now you got Ahsoka, all right, which should have been a slam dunk. Again, Dave Filoni, send him back to the animation studio. He doesn't belong anywhere around live action. And this is no diss to the person of Dave Filoni. Dave Filoni, when I see him out there at Celebration, he seems like a cool guy. But this ain't his bag. This isn't what he does. He cannot do this. You got to send him back to where he belongs, okay? Get over there, do your work over there. You do great work in animation. I had no problem with the Clone Wars, and I thought Rebels was good too. Send them back over there. This is a failed project at this point, all right? Again, this is where it started, Bob. This is where it started, and this is where it's going, all right? And you can't keep going like this, all right? Ahsoka losing like at least a third of its audience from the beginning all the way throughout. You know, they should have been like tuning into this just as much as the premiere. Again, this is showing you that you're not growing your audience. So at this point, I still don't know why Kathleen Kennedy has a job. You know, I just don't understand this whatsoever. But if this is not proof positive that Disney cannot connect and engage with their fan base when it comes to Star Wars, I don't know what else you can say, all right? I don't know what else to tell these cats. You're dropping the ball magnificently, okay? Spectacularly. At some point in time, you got to figure this thing out and course correct. Anyway, folks, that's all I have to say about this. I just, I didn't want to go on and on and on about it, but it's just so amazing that this is where Star Wars is right now. They had this grandiose idea for this, live action Mandoverse movie, all right? And it looks like this thing is just going to be hot garbage, just like these shows are. They don't have this thing correct. They need to just completely go back to the basics, all right? Joseph Campbell, the monomyth, all right? Go back to what George Lucas was doing. Figure it out. That's the way to go, all right? But you guys let me know what you think. Jump down in the comments. Give me your thoughts and opinions on that. Thanks for watching. See you next time.